3 minutes is literally vital. For in your notes, you can see that I have 2 columns. I have a column for people that are what I call goal conscious, and I have a column for people that are what I call growth conscious. About 3 years ago, I was doing a round table, and I had about 15 people in the room, and they were spending all day with me. And basically in the round tables, there's a lot of give and take, a lot of Q&A. And a very successful person out of Dallas that I've known for many, many years, who's built a wonderful organization. In fact, if I gave you his name, and I will not, many of you would know about him, even though he's not in your line of work. I'll call him Joe. Joe looked at me and said, "John, the last 2 years I've plateaued." He said, "I can honestly say that I feel that I'm flat for the first time in many years, the last 2 years. Could you help me?" Because I knew him so well, I jumped in quickly and said, "Yeah, I think I can, Joe." I said, "Let me ask you a question. Have you hit all of your goals?" And he looked at me and said, "Yeah, John, I've hit every one of my goals." He said, "The organization's bigger than I ever anticipated it to be. We are reaching more people than we've ever anticipated reaching. We're bringing in more dollars than we ever anticipated bringing. To be honest with you, I think I have reached all my goals." I said, "Joe, that's the problem. You're goal conscious instead of growth conscious." What I have discovered is that people that are goal conscious plateau more often and longer than people that are growth conscious. Now, I put the 2 columns for teaching purposes so that I could be crystal clear on exactly what I'm talking about. Because it's not either or, and I'm certainly not saying don't have goals. I have goals, you have goals. Nothing wrong with goals. But I am saying that there is something more important than setting goals. Let me explain it by illustrating the 2 columns. You see, if you're goal conscious, the focus is on a destination. If I can get to this level, if I can just reach this number, if I can just have this position. Goal conscious people are almost always destination conscious, where growth conscious people focus is on the journey. They see the big picture. They understand that to be successful, it's a process and it's a journey. Look in your left-hand column. If you're goal conscious, you will motivate people. When you're goal conscious, it's very motivational. If you put a goal in front of yourself or you put a goal in front of someone else. But let me tell you something. If you're growth conscious, that will mature your people. There's a maturity in a growth conscious mindset that is not evident in a goal conscious mindset. Also, if you're goal conscious, goals are seasonal. In other words, you'll have a time or a period or a season in which you'll say, okay, I've got to get to the next level, I've got to do this. Where if you're growth conscious, growth is lifelong. Growth isn't seasonal, it's not annual, it's lifelong, it's a journey. Now, what I have discovered is if you're goal conscious, it challenges people. But if you're growth conscious, that changes people. Change occurs over the process, not in a moment or at a destination or a time or an event. One more distinction. If you're goal conscious, when the goal is reached, we plateau. But when you're growth conscious, we keep growing. In other words, if you're growth conscious, when you hit your goal, you keep on growing because the goal is just part of the journey. It's not the end. In my book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, I talk about the law of process. And the law of process says leaders develop daily, not in a day. That's what this growth conscious stuff is all about. You see, we overestimate the event and we underestimate the process. Always.